All right, let's take a look
Why
at
did this
why I
hydrant
did
run
in the
out of water
California
in the middle
fire.
of a
Why
firefight?
hydrants
That's the
run
big
dry.
question everyone's asking. Of course, the blame game has already started, but as an engineering channel, we're here to dig into the facts. We'll explain how this system works and why it failed, leaving the hydrant dry in just a couple of hours. There are a few key issues.
Yeah.
One is that the water pressure dropped after just 40 minutes because of how much water was being
Well,
used.
yeah. Everything,
Another
yeah.
big problem, the reservoir in Pacific Palisades was empty when it was needed the most, possibly due to ongoing repairs. More details all in the video ahead. Before we discuss why the hydrant went dry, let's first understand the basic engineering of how it works.
I think there's
Although fire hydrants
a.
may appear simple on the surface, their
I think there's
functionality depends on a
one of
complex
those
system hidden below ground. The structure begins with a concrete
reservoirs
support
close
base,
by
which
me
provides
too,
stability for the joint restraining gland.
and I think that's kind of
This
dried
gland
up.
secures the connection between the hydrant and its branch pipe,
I think that's
ensuring
dried up too.
durability and resistance to pressure. The hydrant branch is then connected to a gate valve, which regulates the flow of water. This valve is enclosed by a valve box capped with a lid for accessibility. At the core of the system is the main supply line, which links the hydrant to a water tank or reservoir. These
actually, there
hydrants
might
rely
be some
entirely
water
on
in
the
there,
main
just
water
probably not a
supply and
lot.
are interconnected with hundreds of other hydrants throughout the network.
At
During
least
a
not
fire,
enough to
multiple
deal with
hydrants may draw from the
whatever
same water
fucking
supply
crisis is going to happen
simultaneously.
next.
While this interconnected design ensures wide coverage, it also means that high demand can overwhelm the system, leading to reduced pressure or even a complete loss of water flow. Understanding this engineering highlights the importance of maintaining robust water supply systems to support effective firefighting operations. The water system faced unprecedented pressure, experiencing 4 times its normal demand during the California
Yeah, I mean,
fire.
you had a bunch of
In
firefighters
just a
using it,
40-minute
right?
period, emergency services called for 40 strike teams of engines, equating to approximately 200 fire engines. To put this into perspective, these 200 engines were simultaneously connected to fire hydrants, all attempting to draw water from the same system at the same time. However, the water pipes are only designed to accommodate a limited flow. An additional issue arises when hydrants are located in uphill areas.
Yeah, you're
These
dealing
systems
with
rely
gravity.
heavily on water tanks to provide enough pressure to push
Yeah,
water
and
through
you-
pipes
yeah.
to both homes and fire hydrants in elevated locations. When water levels in these tanks drop too low, the system
Don't
loses
have
the
enough
ability
pressure.
to maintain sufficient pressure.
Yeah.
Without this necessary pressure, hydrants in uphill areas become non-functional, further hampering firefighting operations and leaving critical areas vulnerable.
Yeah, just because there's water in there doesn't right, there's also pressure in there that's also taking up space. So if you don't have more pressure to deal with trying to get out the rest of the water, well there's stuck water down in the bottom of the pipes now because there's not enough pressure to push it out.
We'll take a look at what causes the dry functioning hydrants. This likely impaired the effort to protect some homes and evacuate.
Yeah, and it's all taking from one system. Like, how stupid can you be? You need to. What a fucking outdated fucking piece of bullshit is that?
Evacuation corridors due to a lack of water supply.
Oh boy.
One of the main reasons the water hydrant could not pump water was when the fire broke out in Pacific Palisades. A nearby DWP reservoir was also out of commission and empty for repairs. This large reservoir in Pacific Palisades that is part of the Los Angeles water supply system was out of commission when a ferocious wildfire destroyed thousands of homes and other structures nearby. But officials said that the Santa Ynez Reservoir had been closed since about February for repairs to its cover, leaving a 117 million gallon water storage complex empty in the heart of the Palisades for nearly a year. Here are the before and after images, which show the extent of damage to properties in Los Angeles.
It's
This
bad.
particular image is from the Altadena neighborhood where the Eaton fire occurred.
Oh
Using
yeah, the
infrared
new
cameras
the
from
new
Maxar,
fire
you
that
can
broke
clearly
out,
see
the
the
Eaton one.
fires raging on the ground. Moving on, these are additional before and after images, also from the Altadena area.
Yep.
The orange glow in these images indicates active fires burning at the time. In fact, many of the raging fires started Tuesday, fueled by
Even
strong
Riverside
Santa
got
Ana
hit.
winds that were of the strength of a hurricane, gusting over 70 miles per hour, which translates to 112 kilometers per hour in some areas. This is the Palisades fire. It began at 10:30 a.m. local time on Tuesday, January 7, 2025. This image, captured just 15 minutes after the fire was first reported, already shows its intensity from the sky. The fire quickly ballooned throughout the afternoon, raging between the beach towns of Santa Monica and Malibu. By midnight, it had consumed nearly 3,000 acres, destroying
Yeah,
numerous
jeez.
buildings
Yeah,
and
that
homes,
whole...
so many,
Dude,
in
that
fact,
whole... Dude, if you were to be coming out from the ocean right here, you would see that whole place just up in flames. It's just gone.
Officials are still struggling to determine the full extent of the damage. The cause of the fires has not yet been identified. However, what we do know is that they have been supercharged by fierce dry winds
yep.
blowing in from the northeast.
I mean, he doesn't say it here, but there have been 2 individuals that have been caught with some suspicious activity close to the to some of the fires. I don't know if they caught some more people, but yeah. They're still investigating.
These winds, known as the Santa Ana...
And then there's obviously some people trying to capitalize on the fucked up shit and causing fires and trying to do some, you know, fucked up shit.
Winds accelerate as they hit the mountainous terrain around
As
Los
people
Angeles.
do.
This can be seen in the striking bands of pink and purple on weather maps, indicating the areas affected by these devil winds.
Yeah, this was just bad timing, really. This is super bad
The Santa
timing.
Ana winds also drastically reduce humidity levels, drying out the land and making it more flammable.
Yeah.
With wind speeds reaching up to 60 miles per hour, these conditions are so extreme that firefighting planes have been unable to take off. Fire chiefs describe the combination of low humidity, dry soil, and strong winds as creating some of the worst fire conditions imaginable.
Yep.
Southern California recently experienced an exceptionally hot summer with almost no rainfall during what should now be the wet season. This map illustrates the rainfall of the past 60 days compared to the average for this period. The brown areas around Los Angeles highlight regions that have received virtually no rain, leaving the land parched and highly flammable.
Yeah, so all this area, no rain at all. But all the foresty areas, right? Fine. Basically a fire waiting to happen.
This combination of factors has created a dire situation for thousands of Los Angeles residents, many of whom have been forced to flee their homes. These homes, often belonging to the rich and famous, have been reduced to ashes in mere hours. This is the grim reality faced by Californians as they grapple with an increasingly severe and prolonged...
Yeah, people have tornadoes, hurricanes, and shit like that. Well, we got the flash fires.
wildfire season.
The fucking wildfires.
7 fires are currently being tackled in
and
California.
then you got people doing
Fire
fucking criminal activity, starting fires, right?
Greenwich time
Arsonists.
on Tuesday, January 7th. Within just 20 minutes, it grew from a 20-acre blaze to more than 200 acres. By Wednesday night, the fire had expanded to approximately 16,000 acres. At least 30,000 people have been ordered to evacuate their homes.
Yeah.
The Eaton fire rapidly grew to cover 1,000 acres within the first 6 hours after breaking out. It started in Altadena in the hills above Pasadena at around 6:30 p.m. local time on Tuesday. By Wednesday night, the fire had spread to over 10,000 acres and 5 fatalities had been reported. The Hearst fire began burning just north of San Fernando at around 10:10 p.m. local time on Tuesday. It quickly grew to 850 acres, according to local officials, and has triggered evacuation orders in neighboring Santa Clarita. The Woodley fire broke out in Woodley Park at approximately 6:15 a.m. local time on Wednesday. According to the Los Angeles Fire Department, it has now been fully contained. The Olivas fire erupted in Ventura County, northwest of Los Angeles, and burned across about 11 acres. It has also been fully contained. The Lilia fire ignited around 2:00 p.m. on Wednesday in the mountainous Acton area north of Los Angeles. It grew to cover nearly 350 acres, and as of 9:00 p.m., had been 40% contained. The Sunset fire broke out at approximately 6:00 p.m. in the Hollywood Hills, a residential neighborhood overlooking the historic Hollywood area. It currently spans about 50 acres and is 0% contained. A mandatory evacuation order remains in place. But there were also significant funding issues that may have hampered the firefighting efforts.
Just a lot of fucking fires all over the place, and just barely any firefighters to deal with it. Severely understaffed. Defunded by they defunded the firefighters for some reason. And they got the fucking weird DEI bullshit in there now. It's like, oh, great.
Dated December 17,
Great.
2024, warned Mayor Karen Bass about the
Self-inflicted wounds,
repercussions
man.
of recent budget cuts.
Yeah.
According to the letter, a $17 million reduction in the department's budget had severely limited the department's capacity
Approved,
to
what is
prepare
that?
for,
12?
train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires.
They
This warning
approved that.
highlights
That
the
looks
critical
like on
role that sufficient
12/17.
funding
They
plays in
approved that on my
maintaining readiness
birthday.
for
You
natural
guys are
disasters
fucking idiots.
and other emergencies. The
Oh,
letter raises important
great.
questions about the impact of
Fucking
financial decisions
retards.
on public safety, especially in a state like
A
California,
fucking 7
which is
mil
prone to
reduction.
wildfires.
Yeah.
We make original videos from scratch,
Oh,
so please do
God.
subscribe and hit the notification bell for more
Self-inflicted
videos.
wounds, yo. You gotta love it.